What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murf back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of the Raiders Fan Radio Rundown, or the RFR Rundown, or the RFRR as the kids call it.
Are the kids calling it that?
Nah.
Did your kid call it that?
Nah.
Maybe my kids. I'm going to tell my kids to call it
There you
that.
go. Call it the RFRR.
RFR.
Yeah. And maybe that's a better name since there's 900 rundowns out there now, too.
Well, we're the OG.
The OG Rundown. What number is this? Is it 40?
I think it's 39.
39 or 40, yeah.
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 Yep.
Going back to, when did we start these?
2020.
2020. COVID.
2020. Yeah, during COVID.
That's right, yeah. So anyways, welcome to the Raiders Fan Radio Rundown. Appreciate everybody joining us live on the YouTubes there at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. You are live. We are not. This is pre-recorded as we do here on the Rundown, but always love to jump in into the chat room and see what everybody's talking about in there. So appreciate all of those of you that are in there expressing your Raider fandom.
That's right,
the
man.
Best chat room in all of sports, dude.
And I don't imagine that a whole lot of them are going to be talking Raiders tonight because there's not a whole lot of Raider news.
There's
not.
not.
I mean, unless Paul is sharing his mock drafts in the live chat or something like that. Because there's not a whole lot of news. Yeah, I'm sure more news will come before the draft. I'm sure there'll be more signings and things like that. But yeah, it's quiet on the home front right now.
It's quiet on the home front, man. Absolutely. And so, did you hear? Speaking of, first off, welcome to the show, Swag Jeff.
Hey,
what up, Swaggo?
Oh my gosh, man. I'm fired. I'm like looking at my watch and like looking at the calendar, and I've got the big circle right there around day one of the draft, man.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. It's my favorite thing of almost.
It's so fun. Dude.
Maybe my favorite thing of the whole season. I love seeing what our future is going to look like and stuff like that. So no, I'm fired up, dude. I can't wait.
Yeah, man, me too. And I want to get back to Vegas for the draft, dude. Even when it's not there, but man, it was so damn fun being out there.
So fun.
Freaking Vegas is perfect for the draft. Man.
Yeah,
it was such a good time.
Well, and because we didn't even really go to the draft when the draft was in Vegas.
Dude, at one point, it was so funny. We're sitting upstairs at this really nice suite at the Pandora there, and we're sitting upstairs. It's me, you, Gil, that one guy. Who else?
Ty was out.
Ty was with us.
There.
And there's a group of us, and we're sitting on the couch in the chairs in the living room area of the suite, watching the draft on like the first three picks. We're like,
it's right down there, right?
Right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we probably ought to go down there.
Yeah. But oh my gosh, we had so much fun.
So much fun, man. It's a really, really good time.
It was cool for Rich Eisen to take that photo with me.
It really was.
Remember?
Man. Super good guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Met Charles Woodson on that trip.
We sure did.
We linked up with all the Mount Shieldmore guys. That was a blast.
That was a blast.
That was fun, man. That was a good trip. That was a really good trip.
Really good trip.
Yeah, we want to do that. We got to do that again. And then Valerie came out after the draft was over, and then her and I hung out for the weekend.
That's right.
Yeah, we hung out for the rest of the weekend in Vegas.
Was that the year that you went to Vegas like 18 times?
I think I went 6 times that one year.
Holy cow!
Yeah. A lot of trips to Vegas.
A lot of trips to Vegas.
And the Raiders Fan Radio Fabulous Listen To shirt. It looks like the Vegas sign.
Yes, absolutely. And you will hopefully be able to buy that again sometime soon because we are. We're fine. I think we're finally on the map, pal.
Finally.
We're finally on the map. The NFL has recognized Raiders Fan Radio and all the amazing work that we do with the One Nation Foundation. And what did they do? They took down almost all of our shirts from our TeePublic page, which is now Dashery. So we will update the links on this video and all over our social media because they've given us an opportunity for us to make more money for the foundation, which is fantastic.
Great, yeah.
But right now you can only buy about 5 of our shirts right now because everything else has been taken down by the NFL. So we're fighting that. And
we got cease and desisted by the
NFL,
NFL,
from the NFL. Yeah, and like shirts like this. The Swag Jeff shirt.
This ain't
got nothing to do with the Raiders.
Ain't nothing to do with the Raiders.
No. So we're gonna put our gloves on and
we'll go toe to toe.
We'll go toe to toe.
We'll go toe to toe with the NFL, and that's for charity, man. Leave us alone, NFL.
Leave us alone.
We give all the money away. You know what? I'm gonna cut this segment and I'm gonna tag them on the social medias. We give all the money we make with this show away to charities. Check our record. You can see it. It's all out there. It's public. The One Nation Foundation is an official nonprofit, a 501c3, registered here in the state of Tennessee, because this is where we live. And so we give it all away. We have a CPA that monitors everything, and our buddy Joel, like there's a board of directors. It's a very formal thing that we have with the One Nation Foundation, and it gives the money away. So when you're taking down our shit and keeping us from being able to earn for nonprofits. So You know what I mean? Kiss off, NFL. Leave us alone.
Leave us alone. Let us do our thing.
I'm not trying to make money on you. I'm not trying to make money on the backs of the Raiders. That's your job. Like, we go out of our way to make sure that everything about our show is original material. Yes, do we borrow from the other designs in the spirit of spoof to have fun with it, like the shirt that I'm wearing here? Yes, it's based on the Las Vegas, Welcome to Las Vegas sign. It's a spoof. We're not trying to steal it or imitate or try to fool somebody into thinking that they're buying something that they're not. That's not what we do. That's not what we're doing. And that's the whole point of when you bite other people's merch, you're doing it in a way because you're trying to get them to buy yours, not the original. And so I get it. If we were selling shit with Raider logos on it, well, of course, then we should. But all the deviations that we do, shit we do, and we stole one from Bussin' with the Boys just to make fun of them.
Yeah.
And they were fine with it. We wore it to the freaking bus shop, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's like our shirt. We're like, oh, that's funny. And that was the whole reason we did it, was just 100%. To mess with them.
100%. Yeah, the term Raiders is not trademarked. So just because our shirt says Raiders Fan Radio on it, which ironically enough, a couple of our shirts that says Raiders Fan Radio is still available on our page. It's just like they picked and choose some of the ones, like Michelle's logo and your logo. Like, it's goofy, man. I just don't understand it. So soon you will be able to buy that shirt.
Yes.
Once again, no matter if we've got to make it our damn self or something like that, we'll get it to you again. But in the meantime, there is still a few shirts that you can buy on our Dashery page, which is powered by TeePublic. So all that money, like Murf said, goes to the One Nation Foundation, where we give to many great Raider-related charities, like the good folks at Raider Dad, who takes underprivileged kids and their parental figures to Raider games for the first time, and they branched out and they're taking them to Vegas Knights games, and they're taking. I mean, it's just the Vegas
trying to get linked up with the A's.
The
and all
Vegas
that stuff,
community that Josh Caminite and Raider Dad is doing right now is just an unbelievable thing. So and I know he's wanting to power up with the A's whenever the A's come to Vegas. So yeah, man. So you're giving to causes like that. You're giving to the Bolitnikoff Foundation, who facilitates and helps women that are at risk of substance abuse and domestic violence, and gives them a safe place to go, gives them the essentials that they need to reacclimate to the world and just help them in any way that they can. So
re-engage in their life, man.
100%. Yeah, 100%. So it's going to amazing causes. So get in the mix with that. Help us out.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, for saying all that, Jeff. And thank you, Raider Nation, for your support. All the super chats that we make with this show, 100% of that money goes in all the advertising revenue that we get. And so any of your likes, any subscribes, a thumbs up, a share, all that. Even if you can't contribute to the foundation monetarily, all we ask is for your show support, not to like lift us up, but to lift the foundation up. And because the foundation needs a vessel, and that's what Raiders Fan Radio is. So we can't take it to new heights without blowing the show up in a good way. So we need your help with that, please, if you wouldn't mind. I've had some really, really nice conversations with people on social medias asking about which one is best. Like, I've had like a few people reach out and they're like, hey, I listened to you on Spotify, but should I be listening on YouTube instead? And I'm like, they're all great, man. Anywhere that you want to watch us on Facebook or wherever, all of it is great. Twitter's a big one. People watch us on Twitter.
Yep.
So wherever you can check out the show, please do. And if you're so inclined and you want to subscribe to us on the YouTube and subscribe on Spotify, please do it all.
Do it all.
Any of that stuff helps out the show, man. And again, and that advertising revenue is what goes to the foundation. And also, too, speaking of that, and we're just public service announcements for Raider Fan Radio.
Why not
today? Why not? Nothing else going on. I had a really nice guy hit me up on the Twitter and tagged us in a post and say, hey, I just scored one of your shirts. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm like, right on, man. Thanks for doing that. And so I like shared it, like quote tweeted it and shared it out there with a link to the TeePublic, or back when it was TeePublic.
Sure.
I linked it out there, and he was like, no, man, I got it on Temu. And I was like, oh, well, thank you for supporting the show. But don't buy our shit on Temu. No. But that's, I guess, you made it then too.
Yeah.
When you get Temu.
When you get imitators.
Yeah. So we had the Raiders Fan Radio, the OG Raiders, not OG, but that normal logo. Our Raiders Fan Radio logo is now you can get it on Temu.
Wow.
Yeah,
We officially made it.
we made it.
Yeah, for sure. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, and I want to tease something. So
Okay.
one of the other things that we do to raise money every year is what we call the Summer of Swag. So we get some amazing signed merchandise and stuff like that. And that's right around the corner. That's going to be
coming,
here before.
man.
Yeah, it's going to be here before you know it. We're going to have some amazing stuff, and I'm going to let you. And I'm going to let you tag something too, because of the conversation that you had with a Raider legend. Yeah. So save all your, get in the couch and find the cents and stuff like that, because you just might walk away with some amazing signed Raiders merchandise, because it doesn't matter if you donate $10, every $10 donation gets you one poker chip into the running. But whether you donate 10, whether you donate 500, it all goes to the One Nation Foundation, but anyone can win. I think last year we had several people win like big ticket items that donated like $20 or something like that. So it's anybody's
one
game.
chip gang.
The one chip gang.
One chip gang. People don't throw in $10, and then next thing you know, you're going home with a signed, Max Crosby jersey or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then we have some whales though too.
We got some whales.
We got some whales. We got some dudes we got one guy that gives us like $500 on the front end and goes, just count me in for the next 5 nights for $100 a clip.
Yep.
We have people that do that too. And if you want to do that, here we go, more housekeeping. You can donate it to the PayPal. You can go to our website, onenationfoundation.net, hit the PayPal donate, and 100% of that money goes straight to the foundation. There's no YouTube cuts.
Exactly. Yeah. So of all the ways to give to the One Nation Foundation, the PayPal is the best way.
The absolute best way.
It's the best way, because we keep literally 100% of that money. No fees are taken out. No anything's taken out. It all goes to the One Nation Foundation.
Yep, absolutely. And you can pick it on how you want it to work. We're nonprofit, so I think it's automatically set up. But you can just transfer the money, and if you transfer it, it'll say like 3 to 5 days or something like that. That's free. PayPal doesn't even get a cut.
Perfect.
And so anyways, appreciate you all very, very much for that. Was there anything else? So Summer of Swag, right? So Summer of Swag.
Don't say who it is.
No,
don't say who it is yet.
I'll just say this. This person, this Raider legend, and I follow each other on the Twitters and have had just casual interactions and nothing, he's a pretty big name. He's got other stuff going on.
Yeah, he does.
Well, but I'm going to give it away, though, if I say there's a certain thing that he's doing right now on social media that inspired me to go, hey, coach. Hey, man.
Just say who it
That's
is.
John Gruden. So John Gruden is great on the socials. He's doing all this Barstool Sports stuff now and everything. And John Gruden's always been a personality, regardless of what you think about his in-game coaching or his draft ability or any of that kind of stuff. And frankly, what he did to get himself fired, all that stuff is viable. But that said, there is no arguing, though, he was a Raider legend and still is a Raider legend. And he reps the Raiders to the fullest. And so he's been doing this series on Barstool where he gets all these boxes and teams send him a box. Like today was Boise State, sent him a box and he unboxes the gear. And there's helmets and shirts and all kinds of stuff in there. So he does this unboxing from the Raiders. And it's Bob Romanski, the second ever equipment manager for the Raiders. The Raiders' history, they've only had 2 equipment managers. Bob,
and they were both Romanskis, right?
Bob and then his dad, Dick. Yeah, so you had Dick Romanski and then Bob Romanski. There's 2 guys that have done it for the entire history of the team. So Romanski sends him a box and Gruden unpacks it. And it's like old practice jerseys from when Gruden was there the first time.
Yeah.
And there's a Max Crosby autographed jersey in there. That's autographed to Gruden and all kinds of shirts. And that's it was the biggest box he's done yet.
Yeah.
Was from the Raiders. And he starts walking around his office and stuff there. And he's showing all the Raiders shit that he has in there. It's like the fan cave. He's got Blitnikoff jerseys, Tatum jerseys. Tatum, he says, is his all-time favorite Raider.
Yep.
He's crying, literally brought him to a tear. Not boo-hoo, but brought him to a tear.
Yeah.
He got emotional because of this. And it was what a bitchin' gesture from the Raiders. And what a great way to engage with that for Gruden. For him to still, that's where his heart is with the Raiders.
Exactly.
And so again, regardless of how you feel about the guy, I will always respect him for that. Plus, he's just funny. He's just entertaining to me.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
But, so I hit him up and I was like, hey, coach, we got a nonprofit, the One Nation Foundation, blah, 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 blah. You know, first off, told him it's like, it's great to see you doing well and warms our heart to see, you know, you still repping the Raiders and all that kind of stuff. And I said, you know, we got this foundation. I said, would you be willing to donate some things for auction? Because since it was like he's getting all this stuff, and I thought, well, that might be kind of fun. And all I got back was, shoot me your address. Okay. Yes, sir. And thank you. You know, awesome.
Yep. So the summer swag could get real sexy.
It could get real sexy because I don't know what that means. Does that mean we're just going to get a football? Does that mean a jersey? Does that mean a mini helmet or just a,
well, you know, if we get
an autograph 8x10 of him? I don't know what the hell we're going to get. But
whatever it is, whenever we get the box, we got to film it when we open it.
100%, man. 100%. And then put it out there. Yeah. Absolutely. We will. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the summer swag is going to be a lot of fun this year. We're going to have some really, really cool stuff. All right. Should we talk about the Raiders?
I don't know. I'm kind of having fun. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about the Raiders a little bit. And you know what?
Should. How long we've been? 16 minutes. We haven't even. Well, I mean, see, here's the thing. The show is all anybody ever says this. You guys don't ever talk about the Raiders. Except we do. Everything we do is
it's Raider centric.
It's sometimes it's Raider adjacent.
Sure. Everything we've talked about it's about Raider Nation.
It's about Raider Nation. That's why it's called Raiders Fan Radio.
That's why they call us the Tailgate Podcast.
Yeah.
Do people still call us that?
I haven't heard that one in a minute.
I say it a lot.
Yeah. I think we get weird. I think we're really known for being the goofy show.
I don't have a problem with that.
I don't either. I love it. Like, let us be the comedy arm of this. In fact, once we get the new studio, Mr. freaking Crutches over here, it's going to be a hot minute until I get the new studio done.
It's the second worst Raider injury ever. The first one was Derek Carr breaking his leg, and then it was you stepping on.
Bo Jackson was pretty bad. Bo Jackson breaking his hip.
It's third.
Derek Carr, and then me. Yeah, stepping on a freaking pry bar that I left on the concrete floor.
Yeah.
So anyways, so when this new studio gets done, we're going to be doing a bunch of more shows, and we're going to do a funny one. I like Just Grin Baby.
Just Grin Baby. I love it.
Yeah, I like Just Grin Baby.
Yeah,
so we're going to do a funny show. Because that's what people kind of come to know us for, our goofy shit that we do on TikToks and all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I don't mind being that at all.
No, heck no.
I heard one time somebody called us corny ass super fans.
I love that.
I didn't like at first. I was like, what a dick. But then I told Uncle Mosh, and he's like, ha, 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 ha. He's like, that's kind of funny. I'm like, all right, well, put that on a shirt. Corny ass super fans.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so
wow,
anyway.
you think we're super? That's what I took away from it.
Oh,
wow.
I don't think we're super fans. No, because super fans to me are like Gorilla Rilla, Violator, people like that,
And that's pretty much the list. I mean, there's some other tier twos, but like when you think of super fan, you think of Gorilla Rilla and Violator.
Yeah, it's those guys and then everybody else.
And then everybody else.
Everybody else is playing for other places. Yes. They're the only ones that, and this is no offense to any of the Raider super fans. Please don't anybody take anything by this. We are good friends with people like Kevin that are huge, that are Raider super fans.
Super fan.
So I'm not saying this to like disparage anybody. However people get down, they get down. There's only two guys that I would go out of my way to go meet. And that's Violator and it's friggin' Gorilla Rilla. And we've met them numerous times now at events. They come to Raider Dad. We meet them at Bolitnikoff. Like we've met them at games. We're always, the black hole parties or whatever. So like, this is not to disparage any of the other super fans, but those are the only two guys that I would go out of my way to go over and shake hands and be like, hey, what's up? Not that, and I love running into the other ones too. Like, it's great. Like, we've had that Raider Rock guy was out at Raider Dad. And like, I love meeting everyone. And it's a Raider fan for crying out loud. For sure. I love meeting the other super fans. But those are just, my point is not to knock down anybody else. It's to lift those two guys up.
100%.
Because they're just in a whole nother world when it comes to being a super fan. Right. That's just my opinion.
No, I totally agree with you. Yeah, I mean, as much as we love Raider Joe, you're not on the same level as you're not as great of a super fan as Gorilla Rilla and Violator. And we're not discouraging you from Raidering how you Raider, and you may be a bigger Raider fan than I am, but I know that I'm not a super fan like Gorilla Rilla and Violator.
Yes, 100%. And like that's where those of you listen to the show long enough, there was a joke that I made one time about how they were talking about in the new stadium if they were going to be able to wear full face coverings. to be able to go into the stadium. And if they were to prohibit that, then what would that do to Gorilla? Like, because he can't have his mask on, all that stuff. And so I said, well, when you're somebody like that, when you're on TV every week and all that, you're probably not going to get messed with. And I said, but if you're Schmucky the Raider Bear up in section 405, then maybe you might be shit out of luck.
Yeah.
And it was not where that term came from. And then Michelle made up Schmucky the Raider Bear and with section 405. And there is no section 405, by the way, in Allegiant Stadium.
Is there not?
No, there's not. That's why. That's one of the reasons.
Well, that's even funnier.
It's a layered jokes, Jeff.
It's a layered
ass joke, man.
Jokes upon jokes.
So corny. But
corny as hell.
Corny as hell. And so, and there's like a Schmucky the Raider Bear that's in our chat. There's a Schmucky the Raider Bear on Twitter. Like there's, all kinds of stuff. It's great. People ran with that.
I feel like we would make it. We would officially have made it if Schmucky the Raider Bear shows up at a tailgate.
Oh my gosh. Now, if somebody actually does a Schmucky the Raider Bear and joins us at like Raider Dad, there will now be three super fans that I will go out of my way to go meet.
I would be more inclined to go out of my way to meet Schmucky the Raider Bear at this point than I would to go meet Gorilla and Violator.
Because we met him a bunch of times.
Well,
yeah. That is hilarious, dude.
That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Kevin the Raider Nerd, you're Mr. Cosplay. How funny would that be? Kevin show up as a freaking Schmucky the Raider Bear.
Be incredible. Be incredible.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
All right. Gosh. All right. Hey, so there's not a whole lot of Raider news, Raider stuff going on right now. But let's hear what Raider Nation has to say.
Let's do that.
Yeah, hear what they have to say about the Raiders.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's go to the Sea of Fans mailbag, and let's go ahead and kick it off here. If you want to be part of the show, my buddy Todd, OG Todd on Twitter, just hit me up today, and he was like, hey, man, what's the number for the show? So I send the number for the show, so hopefully we'll get a voicemail from Todd. Talk to Todd, or interact with Todd anyways, all the time on social media. He's a great guy.
Yes.
Big, huge, strong guy. Like, like a power lifter and stuff. The guy's a monster.
Nice.
And yeah, super, super cool. Always has great Raider takes. And so anyways, we'd love to hear from him here on the show. But if you want to call the show, it's 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. And if you leave a message and we play it on the show 3 or more times, you can become the next made man or made maiden here at Raiders Fan Radio, or you could send us an email. And I've got a few emails too. I think Jeff's got one.
Yeah, I've got one.
And you can email the show at show.
Yes.
That is SHOW at RaidersFanRadio.com. And if you email us an indefinite amount of times, you can also become a made man or made in that way. So normally we kick it off with the emails. Let's go reverse. Let's kick it off with the voicemail.
Oh, let's do that.
Let's shake things up around here.
Hey.
Okay.
I don't know why I did it like that.
Why is that? That's not a pause moment. Unless you're doing a shake weight or something.
Yeah.
And then something over here going.
I can't wait to make that a GIF.
Oh, no. Nothing like an out of context joke, man.
I'd love to see that.
Gosh.
Love to see that.
Yeah, you do. You love that shit. All right. Here we go. Let's check in with our buddy Jay in Pennsylvania.
I love that shit.
Love that shit.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, guys. My name's Jay. I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm on my way home from work, and I'm always listening in. Murph, sometimes I get to talk to you on Twitter, which is great. I just wanted to say I really appreciate everything you guys do. I love your show. It's fun to hear from a fan side as well. It's just funny. It's nice. It's hopeful.
Wow,
and listening to your show, I got to say, I do have hope. I think we can all agree this does feel different. I think, Murph, in this latest show, you brought up Brady having 7 Super Bowls. We've never seen a turnover like this before with a new owner, new GM, new coach, new quarterback. As much as you remember the past, I can't look at this team like it's been the last couple of years. I think we've got to look at this team like an actual organization that's running at a high level right now in the NFL. And will it work out? Who knows? But there's a lot of optimism right now. This isn't the team we all remembered where we're like, crap, this is going to suck. There's some hope there. So let's see what happens. I hope the draft goes well. Hope we have a good season. Thanks again for everything you do, guys. Have a good one.
There you go, Jay. Great call. Is that his first call, he said?
I believe so, yeah.
What a solid first call. Love to see that.
Way to come out of the gate there, man. So appreciate you, Jay, in Pennsylvania. And yeah, you know, I don't want to completely just repeat, you know, what I said the other week. But I think he did a really good, you know, appropriate way, I think, to look at it, in that the idea is that we always seemingly, I'll own it, I always in the off season find myself in this boat where I'm encouraged and I have hope. And sometimes it's because I had to look for something to be positive about, because I'm just going to default to positivity. That's my nature on everything. You know, that's just the way that my brain goes. I find life is much easier and much more pleasant to go through when you just look for good in shit, in people and in whatever that your interest is. And then if something changes and you have a reason to change that opinion, then fine. Then I hold teams, people, whatever, accountable to whatever said things were that didn't go well. So it's always my nature to default to that. But sometimes I can also admit that in the past, I've found positivity in things that I kind of had to manufacture a little bit. It was like, okay, well, there's this thing, so that's kind of cool. But I was trying, and it wasn't disingenuous. It wasn't in a way to try to, sell a narrative or any of that kind of shit. It's just that I want to find something to be positive about, like with Josh McDaniels. I was like, okay, well, he's been out of the game for a minute. You know, a lot of time second tenured coaches or second time coaches, they do better. You know, he's admitted the thing and like whatever. And I but there was
same thing, same regime, shame everything. I was that way with Jimmy Garoppolo.
There you go.
You know, well, the guy's been to a
Minshew.
Well, there you go. There you go. I mean, but with Garoppolo, it was like, well, he's been to a Super Bowl. He's got the credibility. He knows how to run a system. He knows Josh McDaniels.
That's
all
right.
those things.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there was a lot of things to, where you kind of had to rev yourself up a little bit. You kind of had to get yourself going on that kind of stuff. It didn't come naturally, where I feel like this offseason is not that way.
And touch on that, because I think that's what Jay was getting to.
Yeah, it's not that way at all. You know, I mean, there's no big splashes so far. I mean, obviously Pete Carroll, I think you could consider that a splash. Geno Smith is a splash, but it's just very calculated. I feel
That's what it feels like.
Yeah,
it's methodical.
We've said that a bunch of times of like, we feel like there's adults in the room. They know how to build something, and they're not just teeing one up and just cranking one out of the park. They're not doing that.
Let's go trade for Devontae Adams.
Truth, dude. They're not doing anything like that, but they're making the right moves, both financially and on the field. I think they're doing a fantastic job. We got guys that left the building, and the people that came in on much more, affordable deals, that can produce the same stuff that we were getting out of Robert Spillane and out of, Trayvon Merrick and stuff like that. We see these guys coming in, and it's just, I feel like they're brick by brick. They're building it up. And I'm like, okay, I can get down with that. Like, there's nothing for me to reach for. Like, I see it. See it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's very well put. And, listen, I know we're tired. We are sick and tired of being patient. I get it, Raider Nation, and I'm with you. Especially now in the days that we're in, where everything is instant gratification.
Right.
Okay. We all want everything right now as quick as we can possibly do. And I'm fully guilty of that as well. Okay. And have to force myself to slow down a lot of times, because I just get like, okay. When it comes to the way that successful teams in the NFL are built, they're not built by teeing them up like what Jeff was talking about. They're built through the draft. Why is Kansas City good every single year? Because they freaking
like
draft their asses off. You got these guys coming out of nowhere that all of a sudden they become big names in the Super Bowl, and you're like, where the hell did that guy come from?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're all going out of small schools and all this stuff.
Yeah, look at a guy like Isaiah Pacheco.
Bingo.
Like, what? Who the hell is that guy? And then he's freaking running over guys in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right after they drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They're like, nah, we're going to go and get this guy instead. And look what happened.
You swing until you hit.
Like, they're so good at that, man. Look at their defensive backs. Like, they're always drafting people. And so you look at the teams that are built well and are competitive for the recent run here we've had, year in, year out, the Ravens, the Niners, the Bills. Look at all the way that these teams are built. They're built and they're deep because they built in the draft.
Yeah, well, look at the people that are in our building now. Look at the way John Spytek drafted.
There you go.
Just a guy that just, he built within the draft. They never moved around a whole lot. They picked where they were at, got the best players available and all that stuff, and built that team that has won the division multiple times. Those are the kind of guys that you want in the building. And so he knows how to do that. And then Pete Carroll has done the same thing. He knows how to draft. He knows how to put people together. You look at a guy like Russell Wilson that they drafted, and say what you will about Russ. He's corny and he's a giant and all that kind of stuff. But the guy could ball in his prime. And they,
dude, he threw a better deep ball than anybody in the NFL at that time.
100% he did.
Better than
100%.
Aaron, better than Brady. Freaking Russell Wilson used to be freaking badass quarterback, man.
Absolutely. And they did the same thing. You swing until you hit on something. They went and paid a ton of money for who? Matt Flynn? They paid for him, and then Russell Wilson came in, and then, and he won the job.
That's it. I mean, and what did they do? If you go to Spytek, and what that I know he wasn't the GM, but he was part of that. Like,
sure.
For an office in acquiring talent, what was really the two, if you want to call it splashy, what were the two things that they actually did? Tom Brady and now Baker Mayfield.
Went and got a quarterback.
They went and got a quarterback. And what did we do?
We went and got a quarterback.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I can see it. I can really see this thing unfolding. And like you said, it we want to be impatient. We want it now and all that. But that's not how this thing is going to go down, man. And you draft and develop superstars, and those are the guys that you pay. There's a reason we're hanging on to this money that we got. Because guess what? When Brock Bowers comes, I know it's a long way off still, but like when it comes to contract time, that dude's going to be the highest paid tight end in the history of the NFL, period. Book it right now. That's what's going to happen. So they have to be fiscally responsible. And so if they go out, so in this year's draft, if it's Ashton Jeanty, or God forbid it would be Travis Hunter, or Abdul Carter, or somebody falls unexpectedly, because now with the Giants having their QB, with Aaron going there, or Aaron, with what's his bucket, with Russ going there. Now that's going to change up the order, because now they're going to have to protect him. So they'll probably have draft like an offensive lineman or something. So this draft is going to be wild at number 6, man. So who knows who can land in our lap at number 6? Well, and guess what? If it is one of those guys that's a quote generational talent or going to be a superstar in the league, you got to pay them.
Yep.
Like we got to start paying people. Well, if you lock up Jeremy Chin for 4 years, or even let's go the guys that we had, if you lock up Merrick for 4 years. Or you look,
what was it, like a $52 million contract or something like that?
Guess what? When those contracts come due for those young guys, you can't afford to pay them, because look at what we did with Corey Littleton and freaking Joyner. Who's it? LaMarcus Joyner.
Yep.
Who are the other guys out there? Kenyon Drake. Like you look at all those players that Gruden acquired and overpaid for, and then guess what? We didn't have any freaking money to pay the superstars.
Exactly.
We got to hang on to that money. We got to be smart about it, man.
Exactly.
And that's where.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you look at the same thing, that free agents that came off the board this year. You look at some of these guys, like, not that were Raiders and left the team, but like, look at a lot of people were talking about, oh my gosh, look at the relationship that Geno Smith and Stephon Diggs has and all that stuff. Stephon Diggs just got like a $70 million deal from the freaking Patriots, dude. Like, I would have loved to have him on my team, but not for that.
No, coming off an injury?
Yeah.
He's coming off an ACL.
Yeah.
I got an ACL. I know what those are like. Well, I got one of them now.
Yeah, you got one of them.
My other one's disintegrated. But yeah, man, like that's not an easy injury to come back from, an ACL. And I know I'm a 52, almost 52-year-old man that's not a premier athlete in the NFL like Stephon Diggs is, but it's 6 months is what they told me that it's going to be for recovery.
Yep.
That dude's 5 months out. He's doing lifts and stuff, and God bless him, and he'll heal, and he's a world-class athlete. And so, but still, he's coming back on an ACL. You don't pay a 3-year deal for $70 million for a guy coming off an ACL? I'm sorry.
Your hope is going to be good?
Yeah. Like, I mean, ACL is kind of a big deal for a freaking wide receiver here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's a massive injury to come back from. And a lot of times it takes 2 years. Like you might be able to play, but you're not going to return to form until year 2. Well, then he's already over halfway through that contract. I mean, it wouldn't have made sense for the Raiders.
No.
Now, Lockett, yes, that to me makes more sense.
Makes 100% sense.
I'm surprised it hasn't been done yet.
Yeah.
That one's going to be coming.
It's coming.
And I would certainly hope the Raiders get it done there. But even he, like a guy, he's in, calling the twilight of his career, entering into the final seasons of his career. You're not going to pay him $1 billion. He'll get paid a fair amount. He'll be an awesome leader on the team. He'll be a true X receiver, which we need. Makes sense. We don't need to overpay for Stephon Diggs. No. We don't need to pay for any of these players that are getting overpaid.
Nope.
So, anyways, great conversation there, kicked off by Jeff in Pennsylvania. Jay in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Jay. We appreciate that voicemail. All right, let's get to an email.
Okay. You want me to read mine?
Or I can go. Whatever.
You go.
Okay. Hi, Murf and Jeff. While the Raiders are signing people with names like Eric Stokes and Ian Thomas, I thought I'd share with you my top 25 Raiders draft targets. JT Tuamalu from Ohio State, Jonah Savaina from Arizona, Oluwafemi Oladejo from UCLA, Donovan Ezeraku from Boston College. I know he's doing this on purpose. DJ Ugalele from Florida State, Artane Esri from Minnesota, and Tatoria McMillan from Arizona. Beyond any other metrics, I just want to hear you pronounce those names. Just want to hear the content creators try to pronounce this. Shout out to the legendary chat and go Raiders. That's from Martin in the UK.
My gosh, of course it is.
Of course it is. But he's got more. He said,
wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. So he sent us 3 emails.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Hi again. For those of you who haven't been around since the beginning, what's the story on the RFR theme music? Interesting. Okay. Well, so the one that we play on the rundown, that's my buddy David Northrup, who's a longtime studio and touring drummer here in Nashville. He toured with like Travis Tritt for like 9 years. He played with Winona and Boz Scaggs and the Oak Ridge Boys, and dude's like a legend when it comes to like touring and doing session work.
Yeah.
And his passion's jazz. And so he put out a jazz album a few years ago called Circles. Yeah, I think it's called Circle. Anyways, I don't know that. Thank the guy. But anyways, he told us, he's like, if you need to use any of my stuff, because it's all instrumental. Yeah. So he's like, if you need to use any of my stuff, man, go ahead and use it on the show. So the outro on the regular show, the intro on this one are the great David Northrup. And then the opening to the Raiders fan radio
proper show,
that's my cousin Sonny. So we got, speaking of C Indeed, we got C Indeed by Metallica because I used to use Creeping Death as the intro for the song. And it's great. It's such a good intro.
Yeah.
Creeping Death is just like perfect for the show intro. And so I used to do it over that. Well, we got popped because guess what? You can't just, and this is before I knew. I wasn't doing it. I'm like trying to get away with anything. I just didn't know. I was just ignorant to it when we very first started. And so, so I used Creeping Death and we got popped. We got taken off of, at the time it was iTunes. All that shit. We got busted. So I had to come up with something original. So I hit up my cousin Sonny, who's a former, he's still a rock musician and hip hop and stuff. But he was in bands and stuff, whatever, coming up before he started in his counseling practice, for anybody that cares. But anyway, so I hit him up and I was like, hey man, I need a rock intro. I need like a good, like heavy guitar, like and do that. And so Sonny put that together for us. And so that's
so
that
cool. Yeah.
That opening song is Cousin Sonny. And he's also, if you're on the YouTubes and you listen to kind of like the pre-show, the like this part, this is also Cousin Sonny.
Yeah.
He did his version of the Autumn Wind, and this is all Sonny's just everything. So it's pretty cool stuff there. So anyway,
that's so cool.
So we did all that because we want to also in the spirit, like with our merchandise, we want everything to be original. We don't want not biting off of anybody. Is the Autumn Wind an inspiration for Sonny there? Of course. Of course. But we're not stealing anything.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah. Plus back then too, I don't think anybody does it anymore, at least very rare. Back then when we first started out, everybody did the Autumn Wind. for their show.
Right.
For their, like, the opening of their podcast. Everyone used the Autumn Wind. And I was like, I don't want to have an autumn. I don't want to play the Autumn Wind. Like, everybody knows that song, you know? And so, so we got that original one for the theme song, but then we got Sonny's version of the Autumn Wind, which I do love to play because that one's killer. All right, there you go. How's that for an answer to your question there, Martin?
Good answer.
Let's see. We got one more, and it's from Martin, and he says, let's see. Oh, who would you rather sign? Ron Ingback, Len Becker, Rodri Seaver, or Noah Stackle? Regards, Martin. That's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Martin. I would go with the run. What was this running? Whatever the running back was, because I want Ashton Jeanty.
Yeah, so I want.
I'm still not changing off of that opinion.
No. And if it's not him, I want McMillan out of Arizona. I want the wide receiver.
I don't think you draft a wide receiver that high, man. At 6, and we trade back.
Look, I mean, you could say the same thing about running back, though. Do you draft a running back at 6? I'm with you. I want Ashton Jeanty, but if Jeanty for whatever reason goes before 6, which I don't think he will. I saw him.
I don't think so.
It's mock draft season, right?
Yeah.
I saw a couple from like someone from ESPN or something like that had Jeanty going at 4 to the freaking Patriots.
That ain't gonna happen.
I don't think that's gonna happen either.
No way. But no, I think you do based on circumstance on this one. Not only is he going to be best player available, probably, but when you look at the way that this team is constructed, you got to have a good running game. And what does Pete do? You look at all the tea leaves.
Yep. Those Marshawn teams and all that stuff. Yeah, you run the damn ball.
Yeah, Robert Turbin and all them got they ran the shit out of the football. That's what they did. And it helps your quarterback. Yeah. When you have a good running game and you have a good tight end, we have an exceptional tight end, then that's what your quarterback needs. He doesn't need like a top guy to play wide receiver right now. It's not like we're completely devoid of talent when it comes to pass catching.
Yeah.
Brock Bowers is going to be the number 1 target. I know he's not going to be the X receiver, but he's going to be the number 1 target. Jacoby Myers is a lock at the other side. So if we sign Tyler Lockett, there's no need to draft a guy like that. And I think that's just one of the latter pieces to the puzzle. When you build a team, like we talked about last week, it starts obviously with quarterback, but then it goes to the lines, man. So you build from the trenches out. And so wide receiver is literally all the way on the end.
Right.
Like it's kind of the final piece. That's why, as much as I loved the move to go get Devontae, because it was sexy and it was Derek Carr's best friend, and reunited the Fresno State Bulldogs, and oh my gosh, this is going to be wild. Where this is going to go, and all that freaking encouragement about how cool. It really wasn't a smart move based on the way that the team was built. You don't do that. That's the last thing that you do. If the Raiders were already set up, if we lost the year before to the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship game, and then you go and trade for Devontae Adams, cool.
But I think that's what Mark Davis, and I think that's what the new coaching staff that came in thought we were.
Because we were coming off of the playoffs.
Because we were coming off of the playoffs. We had this epic run and all that stuff. And we did nothing but get better that offseason. Looking at it back then, we got way worse in the coaching, area. But I think
they shot. That's for sure.
They thought that we were only a piece or two away from really making a run. So they go get Chandler Jones and they go trade for Devontae Adams and all that stuff and grab Jimmy Garoppolo that was the next year. But yeah, I mean, I think they thought that we were just a piece or two away. And the following year, I think they thought the same thing. We're a quarterback away. And then that's when they went and got Jimmy Garoppolo. And then instead of trading up to go get CJ Stroud or something like that,
Jeez. What a disaster that was. But okay. I mean, so I don't think that we're in that position now.
No.
I don't think that,
but I think I think running back is perfect. I think we're set up perfectly. And, you know,
and if it's not, I'm not opposed to no one. Speaking of sexy, ain't nothing sexy about drafting an offensive lineman in round 1. But if we snag one of these premier tackles that can play on the right side, that can play maybe on both, that can shift over and take over for Miller when he's finally done, like I would not be opposed to us doing that to shore up the offensive line. Right now, I think we're about a guard away because I really like DJ Glaze.
I do too.
And so I think that like with JPJ moving to now to center, it leaves his spot open there on the left side. So because I like Parham, and I don't think you draft a guard at number 6.
No.
But if there's one of these premier offensive quote linemen,
Yeah, in the second round.
no, or they're in the first.
Oh, in the first.
Yeah, like if that's the like I.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it wouldn't shock me if they did that. If maybe they thought they could trade back into round 1 to grab Jeanty or, you know, whatever the case may be, like that wouldn't shock me if the team goes over. Because again, go back to the formula. That's how you got to build. We got to protect Geno, man. We got to build to protect Geno. And can they draft an offensive lineman in the top of at the 6th spot and then get one of the other guys, Judkins or, you know,
Dylan Sampson or one of
those guys in the second round? Sure. And is that a bigger bang for your buck? It certainly could be. Or you can flip it and say, okay, well, Genty's there. Let's get this guy, and then we'll get our lineman in the second round or whatever. But unless some miraculous thing happens and Carter ends up at 6 or Travis outside of
or
those,
Shador.
Okay, that's fair. Outside of those 3 guys, I don't see any reason that you would not take Jeanty.
No.
Those are the only 3 that I could be like, oh, okay. Now we got to have a conversation.
Exactly.
Because now we've got, okay, our potential franchise quarterback for the next 15 years.
Right.
Sitting there. Or a guy that you put him on the opposite side of Max Crosby with Malcolm Kuntz also being there. Holy shit. Like that freaking line would be the best in the NFL.
Best in the NFL by far.
By far. Or if Travis is there, you get an elite corner because right now we've got Jacorian Bennett and we'll see what happens with Jack Jones. I'm rooting for him, but it's iffy, I think, at this point. We've lost Nate Hobbs, so we're going to need help inside.
Yep.
You're not going to put Travis Hunter inside, but it gives more depth to the defensive back room.
Yep.
And that means that somebody else can kick inside to cover. Wish we still had a Meek. He would have been perfect.
Oh my gosh.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, so those are very fair conversations with those 3 guys.
Yeah.
Outside of that, if Genty's there,
You take him.
that's it.
Yeah,
The
that's
end.
it. You take them. Yeah, well, and I think because I saw reports that came out that said that we inquired about Kenneth Walker.
Really?
Yeah, that they were inquiring about him, you know, and he's another guy that Pete Carroll drafted, and you know, he's a stud freaking running back and all that stuff. Has a little bit of staying healthy issues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know, but they inquired about him as well. So I mean, so it's clear.
Was that before we signed?
No, I think it was after. We
After
signed
Mostert?
Geno. Oh no, this was like before we signed Mostert for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I think that's kind of a sneaky
good, dude.
I like that one. I like
that
that
guy
one.
had 1 million touchdowns last year.
Was it last year? Yeah.
Was it last
No,
year?
it was
Or
the year before.
They had like 17
Yeah, because
touchdowns.
he was dinged up last year.
Yeah, he was.
He was dinged up last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be sneaky. That could be our Amir Abdullah, like a more proficient version of Amir Abdullah. You know, and again, gotta have depth. You know, so even if we did draft Ashton Jeanty, well, good. We still got Mostert in the building, and you know what I mean. Be a mentor, can like all those things. I think are good. So yeah, see how much we talk about the Raiders around here.
Come on, let's go, Martin. Thank you for the conversations.
John Martin. All right, what you got?
Do you have any more voicemails?
No, that's it.
Oh, that's it. Okay. I've got, let's see. I've got an email. It is from J-Dog in Montana.
Hey, J-Dog in Montana.
How do, RFR? This is J-Dog from the beautiful Big Sky country in Montana.
Nice.
I called y'all up a couple weeks ago, but talking on the phone is not my forte. So I figured...
you did a good job, Jay.
So he said, but I figured an email might be better. maybe that ain't my thing either. We'll see. He said, first off, I didn't know how many Jeffs and J's or anything that starts with a J were coming.
Oh my gosh.
That were out here for a call sign. My call sign actually comes from my dog. His name was J Dog, which has something to do with a movie called Action Jackson. Starring Carl Weathers, who used to play for the Raiders.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a great nickname.
Yeah, I know. So I know this is more about you than me, as you guys say. But I got here to Montana 30 years ago as a wildland firefighter. When I grew up in the Bay Area and became a Raider fan when I was a kid. Any football fan living there was either a Niner fan or a Raider fan. Of course, I chose to be a Raider fan. Come on, silver and black. Or red and wine drinking Weiner Gold. John Madden, Kenny Stabler, and other great Raiders were here, or whoever the F was on the Niners, because I didn't care who played for the Niners. We were all Raider fans this day and forever. They gave us a lot of power, and they still do. When you're dead tired after working 24 hours straight trying to catch a fire in the middle of August, you need something else to think about. It's the Oakland Raiders, like the Los Angeles Raiders, and now the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm retired now, so I have time to watch a lot of YouTube Raider content creators or show producers.
Yeah.
I got a kick out of the most annoying content creator for the Raiders that you guys brought up last week. That was hilarious. I saw that you lost.
Tashawn Reed got me. I got to be more annoying.
You got
more
work to
annoying.
do.
Hey, it's that Carolina Raider guy, the guy that did that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
He reached out to me and he's like, "Hey man, thanks for having a good sense of humor around this." I was like, "Yeah, man, I got you." Like, yeah, I thought that was nice of him to reach out.
Absolutely,
because we talked about people took that the wrong way, but Tashawn Reed got me, and Scott Gilbranson moves on to the Sweet 16.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's not gonna win it. He's not.
He's not that annoying.
There's like 3 other ones that I know. Probably, I got my list of 1 seeds. Yeah. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
2 for sure.
For sure.
2 for sure.
For sure. So, so you said
and none of them are Graff or Wasted or the people that were
No, it's not those guys for sure.
No.
So he goes on and he talks about Hondo is a big one for him and all that. He said one of the other ones he said
he may or may not be one of my number ones.
Well, there you go. So he said he lists a couple other ones. He said as far as the Raider goes, JT the Brick. Which is interesting. I like JT.
And JT's super nice to us, man.
He's a great,
he's been on the show. We interviewed him.
No, I'm sorry. He said puts out good material.
Okay,
JT
good.
the Brick. He likes Raider films and Raider classics as well.
Yes.
So
that is very good.
Yeah, so that's great.
Raider
so
classics is really good. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So he said, just my opinion. But then as far as the draft goes, I hope we pick up Jeanty, beef up the O-line, and get a quarterback that has some upside. Who that is, I still don't know. Just remember Brady was picked in the 6th round. So with my 2 cents in, I wish you all a great and happy filled Raider day wherever you're at. And let's go Raiders, baby.
Nice. What's up, J-Dog in Montana?
There you go, J-Dog.
Congrats on the retirement. And, man, what a hardcore job that is. Being a wildlife firefighter?
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
Respect to you, man.
Much respect, man. Yeah, that's some tough work, man. Those guys and gals, man, when something's going down, they are nonstop, man.
Yep.
Well, that's a gnarly job. But anyways, appreciate you. My man, thank you for the email. And your call was fine.
Your call was fine. Your email was great. Yeah, you just keep them coming, man.
Keep them coming.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure.
Jeff, I think that's all we got, man. I think it's about time
pal.
to wrap this thing up here. Any other Raidery shit we want to talk about?
I don't think so, man. No, we're just we're waiting for that Tyler Lockett signing that I'm sure is coming anytime.
Yep.
And then just holding our breath for the draft, man. That's kind of what we're doing. So we'll be back live next week. Hopefully there's some Raider news that comes out between now and then because it would be a tight show next week as well.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. All of those of you that are in the chat room, we can't see you because, like we said, we're not live right now. This is pre-recorded, but thank you guys for being here and all that stuff. So yeah, what do you got, Murph?
That's it, man. Hey, did you hear back from Comp?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
All right. Because we might have some news there because we're getting ready to do our first donation of the year. and we're going to be giving to Raider Dad.
Yes.
And we've got a new goal for the Raider. I don't want to say that here live on the show because Josh doesn't know about it yet. Josh at Raider Dad.
Yeah, we want to grow them.
But we want to grow. We have a new goal in mind for Josh, and so look forward to that. To be able to send him that first check. Normally we do it by now, but we're wanting to hit this new number, so kind of waiting a little bit on it. But we've got plenty of time. The event's not until August. And with Summer Swag coming and all that, we're going to hit some big numbers. Look forward to that. And our corporate people,
the thing we got working on with Scott.
Yes, that's going to be a monster.
There's a lot of big stuff cooking right now.
And we got a really, really nice guy, business owner in Vegas from LA, that we've been talking to as well. Once everything's kind of buttoned up, I'll shout it out and talk about it on the show. But we had somebody contact us, and we're like, and he's legit, because we get contacted over the history of this show. We've been contacted numerous times by people that say that they want to, invest or, do a thing or set us up, with tailgates and all that. And every single one of them has turned out to be bogus. Like, they're all frauds. And so I was a little reluctant at first, but this guy is cool and he's legit. And so he asked about being involved with a podcast and being involved with a charity and how can he contribute to both. And so we've been talking about stuff. So
perfect.
So some great news there for the foundation this year. And I look forward to taking this thing to new heights, certainly.
Yeah.
So look for us next week. Normally we're live each and every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern here on the YouTubes. Michelle will be back with us, and I'll be here.
Yeah,
I'll be here.
Yeah, same bat time, same bat channel.
Same bat channel. So we're going to be back, and we're going to do shows every week, whether it's this or the live show. But we are going to probably take a break in there. We'll take our
after the draft.
Our pre-draft break.
Yeah. We'll take a couple weeks off, probably.
We'll take a couple off in there, and then we'll do one after, like when we get to the dead period, like right after we do the fannies. So for those of you that aren't familiar, we do an annual fan award show that's kind of almost an inside joke because it involves a lot of the people that are in the chat room or that call the show or just people on social media or where we like to have fun with kind of the overall listening audience of Raiders Fan Radio and poke fun at ourselves.
And give thanks for the people that have been a part of Raiders Fan Radio for the whole year. Because it's not just you, it's not just me, it's not just Michelle, but it's you guys that make the show what it is. The See a Fan segment, the constant, all the great stuff that's going on in the chat room nonstop. Yeah, so it's kind of our flowers to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, we get dressed up. We'll dress. Jeff wore a freaking. I know it's taboo probably to talk about the guy nowadays, but you wore a robe.
Like Henry Ruggs.
Like Henry Ruggs was wearing when he got drafted. We'll dress. I usually wear like a tuxedo with a jersey on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shit like that. So we have fun the way that we get dressed.
Jeff
up.
Murphy always wears a tuxedo T-shirt.
Tuxedo T with no sleeves.
Exactly.
Yeah. You got suns out, guns out, bro.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Derek Carr special.
That's right.
So he does that, and we've all done silly things, and Michelle usually paints her face up and looks all cool and So anyway, so we'll have a lot of fun with that. That's the fan award show, so look for that. So we've got Summer Swag coming up. We've got the Fanny Awards. We're probably. Do you want to go live during the draft? We're here. We are producing on the fly. We've done live for the draft a couple different times.
We have.
We've done just like pop-ins or whatever, and being that now that we're so close, we ought to do a little something.
Yeah, we might do something.
We might even do it from your crib. We might even do it from your fan cave.
There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll figure that out. But we got a lot of stuff coming your way. So appreciate all of those of you and your wonderful, wonderful support of not only Raiders Fan Radio, but the One Nation Foundation. All right, I'm going to stop talking now.
Okay. Me too.
Okay.
See you. Bye.
Goodbye.